Let me ask you something powerful today. What if I told you that everything you're searching for, peace, power, purpose, direction, it's already within you, and all it takes is a return not to the chaos of this world, but to the circle, the Quranic circle of life, the divine loop that starts with your creation, carries you through struggle, redemption, and legacy, and returns you to your originator, not empty, but elevated. This isn't about rules. It's not just rituals. It's about transformation. It's about waking up and realizing you were never created to be ordinary. You were created by the most majestic for a mission that no one else on this earth can fulfill like you can. From the very first breath you took, you were inserted into a divine circle. You came from Allah. You lived for Allah. You returned to Allah. But somewhere along the way, life got noisy. Distractions got louder than your inner voice. Fear pushed purpose into the background. Doubt replaced certainty. Comparison robbed you of confidence. And you forgot the circle. But listen, this isn't your end. This is your awakening. Because the Quran didn't come to sit on a shelf. It came to sit in your heart. It came to activate your spirit. It came to reconnect you with your source. It came to rebuild you when the world broke you. And in every ayah, every verse, there is not just wisdom, there is a weapon to fight despair, a weapon to conquer your inner critic, a weapon to battle failure, depression, and anxiety. Because the Quran doesn't speak to you, it speaks about you. When you read, and we have certainly honored the children of Adam. That's not history. That's identity. When you hear, indeed, with hardship comes ease. That's not cliche. That's strategy. When he says, call upon me, I will respond. That's not poetry. That's a promise. So step back into the circle. Feel the rhythm of divine alignment. Let the Quran light up the forgotten corners of your heart. Let it burn away the false beliefs that say you're not enough. Let it remind you, you were never abandoned. You are always guided. This is the circle of life. You are created in honor. You are tested to grow. You are forgiven when you fall. You are empowered to rise. You are destined to return home. And right now, this is your moment to stop living small, to stop settling for the mediocre, to stop postponing the person you were born to be. You have a role. You have a purpose. And the Quran is not just a book, it's your blueprint. So stand up, raise your head high, take your rightful place in the circle, reconnect, reignite, return. Because your life isn't random. Your pain wasn't wasted. Your journey was never pointless. And if you strayed far, then take one step today, one verse, one prayer, one moment of sincere intention. And Allah will run to you with mercy wider than the heavens. Now is the time to stop existing and start living. Start leading. Start rising. Step into your circle and complete the story you were born to write. You were not born into this world by coincidence. You didn't arrive here by mistake, and your existence is not a result of random chance or biological accident. You were created with divine intention, with purpose flowing through your veins and meaning carved into your very soul. Long before your body took form, long before anyone ever knew your name, you were known. You were seen. You were chosen by the one who fashioned the universe with precision and majesty, the one who created galaxies without flaw and designed the human heart to beat with a rhythm of purpose. He chose you. Out of all possibilities, out of every soul that could have been brought into this world, it was you who was selected to walk this path, to live this life, to carry out a mission that no one else on this earth can fulfill the way you can. When the Quran says we have certainly honored the children of Adam, that honor is not hypothetical. That honor is not conditional. It is not based on your income, your status, your popularity, or how the world labels you. That honor is built into your design. It is rooted in your very being. You were created in the highest form, not just physically, but spiritually, emotionally, intellectually. Your existence carries a sacred weight. The air you breathe is a gift. The moments you live are sacred opportunities. You are not just here to get by. You are not just here to blend in. You are here to build, to lead, to awaken. Every single cell in your body is aligned with a purpose far bigger than you've been told. And let's be honest, the world tries to make you forget this. Society will tell you that you're just another number, that you have to look a certain way, think a certain way, act a certain way to matter, that your worth depends on performance, appearance, and achievement. But that's not your truth. That's not your origin. Your origin is rooted in divine excellence. You are the result of divine will. And nothing about your existence is small. Every fingerprint is unique. Every heartbeat is intentional. Every breath is proof that you are still part of the plan. Think about it. The same creator who designed the stars, who hung the sun in the sky without a chain, who split the sea for profits and raised the sky without pillars, that same creator looked at the entire universe and saw a place for you in it. He gave you talents that no one else has. He wrote your story in a way that no one else can live. He placed within you a fire that, when ignited, can change not just your life, but the lives of those around you. Even before you had a name, you were recognized in the heavens. Even before you could walk, the earth was made ready to carry your footsteps. And even before you ever felt lost, the path was already written with signs to lead you back. You were created on purpose for a purpose. That means every failure you've had, every tear you've shed, every moment you thought didn't matter, it all counts. Nothing is wasted in the divine design. You are not weak. You are not forgotten. You are not broken beyond repair. You are a masterpiece in motion, a soul being shaped by trials, refined by faith, and elevated through every choice you make. There's royalty running through your spiritual bloodline. You are from the line of prophets, of warriors of light, of believers who changed the course of history. And you've been given the same tools, the same breath, the same potential. You just have to believe it. You just have to reclaim the truth that's already been written about you in the heavens. The truth that says you are enough, you are capable, and you were created for something far greater than mediocrity. The Quran is not just a book, it is a divine dialogue, a direct conversation between the Creator and His creation. It is not pages and ink, it is light, power, and guidance poured into words that echo across time and space. It is a source of unmatched clarity in a world drowning in confusion. It is a mirror that reveals your truth, a map that redirects your path, and a force that reshapes your mindset and awakens your sleeping spirit. While the world changes, opinions shift, and philosophies rise and fall, the Quran remains unchanged, unbroken, and unbeatable. It is timeless. It is eternal. It is alive. The Quran isn't something you just read. It's something that reads you. It knows your wounds. It speaks to your fears. It calls out your potential. It doesn't matter how broken you feel, how lost you've become, or how far you've drifted. The Quran meets you right where you are. It reaches into your confusion and pours peace into your chaos. It finds you in your darkest hour and lights a flame that cannot be extinguished. One verse, one line, one word can shake your soul awake like a storm that revives a dead land. It is not just scripture, it is soul fuel. This book was never meant to sit on a shelf. It was never meant to be sealed in velvet and silenced by formality. It was meant to live in your life, to be present in your thoughts, your decisions, your emotions, and your relationships. It was sent to be walked, not just recited, to be acted upon, not just memorized, to be the lens through which you see the world and the compass you use when the world blinds you. It holds within it not only moral direction, but emotional healing, psychological clarity, and spiritual alignment. When you feel overwhelmed by life, the Quran gives you perspective. When people betray you, the Quran reminds you of the loyalty of your Lord. When anxiety floods your chest, the Quran empties it with verses of assurance. When you're buried in guilt, the Quran lifts you with promises of forgiveness. It contains the antidote to every form of pain. And it doesn't require you to be perfect to access its light. You just need to be sincere. You just need to show up. And the power of the Quran is not abstract. It's not symbolic. It's real. It rewires your thinking. It strengthens your character. It refines your discipline. It develops your resilience. It humbles your ego. It elevates your purpose. It draws a clear line between what matters and what doesn't. The Quran teaches you to think bigger, to rise higher, to walk straighter. It teaches you that your value isn't based on what people say, but on who you are in the eyes of your Creator. It teaches you to stand up when the world tells you to sit down, to speak truth when silence is easier, and to keep going when giving up feels tempting. The Quran is your guide, not just for prayer, but for every situation. Heartbreak, loss, ambition, fear, love, leadership, wealth, conflict, injustice. It addresses the human experience with depth that no philosophy, ideology, or trend could ever match. It doesn't offer empty inspiration. It gives eternal revelation, the kind of truth that pierces through illusions and puts your soul back in command. Even when you don't understand everything, even when your Arabic is weak, even when you can't finish a full surah, The Quran works. It's not limited by your intellect. It reaches the heart. The moment you turn to it, it begins to work on you, breaking chains you didn't know existed, cleaning wounds you didn't know were bleeding, revealing light you didn't realize you had lost. And in a world full of voices trying to define who you are, the Quran is the only voice that tells you who you were always meant to be. Pain is not a punishment. Struggle is not a curse. In the divine equation of life, the very hardship that seems to be breaking you is actually sculpting the strongest version of you. The Quran reminds us again and again that tests are not obstacles, they are opportunities in disguise. Trials are not signs of rejection, they are evidence of selection. When Allah tests a person, it's not because he's turning away from them. It's because he's turning them into something more, into someone greater. And when life feels unbearable, when the weight is crushing, that is not your fall. It's the moment before your rise. Struggles are part of the blueprint. They are not interruptions in your journey. They are chapters that were meant to be written. The Prophet ﷺ, the most beloved to Allah, lost his parents, buried children, faced rejection, hunger, exile, and war. Yet with every loss, he rose higher. With every wound, he gained strength. He wasn't made despite the struggle, he was made through it. And so are you. When you face difficulty, your ego breaks, and that is where true transformation begins. Struggle strips you of illusion, of pride, of false comfort, and reveals what's real, your soul, your resilience, your untapped strength. It brings you face to face with your Creator, forcing you to seek help beyond yourself. And in that moment, you touch a level of faith that comfort could never give you. Comfort keeps you still. Struggle makes you grow. And growth is painful. But so is staying stuck. Pain will exist either way. But one leads to purpose while the other leads to regret. Think about the people you admire, the strong ones, the brave ones, the wise ones. Every single one of them was shaped by adversity. They weren't made on sunny days. They were built in storms. Their hearts were crushed so they could learn how to heal. Their paths were blocked so they could find new ways. Their strength didn't come from ease. It came from endurance. The Quran tells us, indeed, with hardship comes ease, not after. That means your breakthrough is already on the way. It's not that you're waiting for ease to come in the future. It's walking right beside your hardship, even if you can't see it yet. Sometimes you ask, why me? But the better question is, why not me? You were chosen for this struggle because it's carrying something for you. A lesson, a shift, a reward, a deeper connection with your Lord, a version of you that you haven't met yet. Trials are the divine boot camp of the soul. They train you, strengthen you, and prepare you for the next level of your journey. Without resistance, there is no rise. Without pressure, there is no diamond. Without fire, there is no gold. The struggle you face is not happening in vain. It's not random. It's not without meaning. Every tear you've cried has been seen. Every sleepless night has been recorded. Every prayer made in desperation has been heard. Allah does not waste the pain of a believer. What you're going through today is building what you'll stand on tomorrow. Your story, your scars, your setbacks, they will one day become someone else's survival guide. They will become your strength. They will become your dawah. But first you have to pass through the storm. You can't skip the process. You can't cheat the pains. But you can walk through it with dignity, with faith, with certainty that there is a purpose far greater than what you can see. You can hold on, not because it's easy, but because you believe in what's on the other side. That belief, that trust, is what transforms suffering into sacred elevation. Because in the eyes of the world, you may look like you're struggling, but in the sight of your Creator, you are being built, you are being trained, you are being polished, you are being positioned for something that only struggle could prepare you for. There is a voice in your head that sometimes whispers, you've gone too far. A voice that says you're too flawed, too sinful, too broken to ever find your way back. A voice that feeds on guilt, magnifies your mistakes, and convinces you that you are beyond redemption. But that voice is a liar. It is not the voice of your Lord, because your Lord is not the one who shames. He is the one who forgives, heals, and welcomes. The Quran reminds you over and over again that no matter how far you've strayed, no matter how many times you've fallen, no matter how thick the darkness around you feels, The door is always open. The mercy of Allah is not just available, it is actively reaching for you. You are forgiven more times than you have sinned. You are loved more deeply than you have ever been hurt. The one who created you, who formed you, who knew your weaknesses even before you did, has made your return easier than you could imagine. He didn't design you to be perfect. He designed you to turn back, to grow through mistakes, to transform through sincere repentance. And when you take even the smallest step toward him, he comes running toward you with a love that surpasses all human understanding. His mercy is not limited by your past. It is not canceled by your worst moments. It is not shaken by your doubts or your missteps. It is bigger than all of it, deeper than the ocean, wider than the sky, more vast than anything your heart can comprehend. The Quran tells us that Allah is Al-Ghaffar, the constant forgiver. Not just the one who forgives once or twice, but the one who forgives again and again and again, even when you've given up on yourself, even when you feel unworthy, even when you can't look at yourself in the mirror without shame. His forgiveness is not transactional. You don't have to earn it like a wage. You just have to seek it sincerely, humbly, honestly. One sincere moment of regret, one quiet tear in the middle of the night, one whispered dua, and the heavens respond. You are never alone in your struggle. Even when people walk away, even when the world forgets you, even when you isolate yourself out of shame, Allah does not abandon. His presence surrounds you. His love upholds you. His guidance waits patiently for you. It's not that he needs you to be perfect. He wants you to be real, to come to him in your rawest, most authentic state, with your doubts, your wounds, your history, and just say, I need you. That's all it takes. You don't need to be eloquent. You don't need to have the perfect words. You just need to open your heart. Every prayer you missed, every opportunity you wasted, every time you ignored your conscience, it can all be rewritten. Allah is not limited by time. He can replace regret with reward, sin with salvation, and darkness with light in a heartbeat. He says in the Quran, say, O my servants who have transgressed against themselves, do not despair of the mercy of Allah. Indeed, Allah forgives all sins. Not some sins, not only the small ones, all. That's not just hope, that's certain. And more than forgiveness, Allah also guides. He doesn't just wipe the slate clean and leave you empty. He fills your heart. He directs your steps. He gives you clarity, purpose, and strength you never thought possible. He walks with you through the process of rebuilding, and he never stops guiding, no matter how long you've been lost. He's been guiding you even when you didn't know it. That one video you stumbled upon, that one reminder that pierced your heart, that one verse that made you cry, that was him. Always near, always calling. There's nothing you've done that disqualifies you from his mercy. There is no shame that his light cannot dissolve. No burden that he cannot lift. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to return. Return not as someone perfect, but as someone willing to try again, willing to trust, willing to hope in the one who never gives up on you. You're not born to be invisible. You were not created to simply pass through life unnoticed, unheard, and uninspired. You were placed on this earth with a mission, a sacred responsibility stamped on your soul by the Creator himself. The Quran didn't just come to teach you how to pray or fast or avoid sin. It came to awaken the leader inside you. It came to unlock the dormant potential that's been buried under doubt, fear, procrastination, and the noise of a distracted world. You weren't meant to merely exist. You were meant to lead, to shine, to influence, and to leave a legacy that echoes far beyond your years. You don't need a stage to be a leader. You don't need a title, a mic, or a million followers. Leadership begins in your home, in your community, in your character. It begins in how you treat others, how you respond to trials, how you carry yourself in the unseen moments. You are meant to stand for something, to represent truth, to defend justice, to be a source of light in a world that is often cloaked in shadows. And that light doesn't have to be loud. It just has to be real. When Allah created you, he didn't place your soul into this era by accident. He didn't design you with your specific personality, voice, mind, and energy for no reason. You were shaped, tested, and placed precisely where you are because this world needs you. Not the filtered version, not the one the world wants to mold. The real you, the one with scars, lessons, and resilience. The one who has fallen and gotten back up more times than anyone knows. That version of you, the one that rose out of hardship, is ready to lead. The Quran doesn't just invite you to reflect, it commands you to rise, to act. It reminds you that you are part of a legacy. You come from a line of believers who faced the impossible with unshakable faith. You are tied to prophets, warriors of truth, and souls who stood firm even when the odds were stacked against them. You carry their fire in your chest, but fire unused becomes smoke. Purpose ignored becomes pain. You can't keep running from who you were meant to be. And yes, it's easy to doubt, to think, who am I to lead? But the question is not, who are you? It's who are you not to lead when Allah himself breathed into you, honored you, and gave you a message that this world desperately needs. The world is full of imitation. It's hungry for authenticity, for someone bold enough to be guided by the Quran, to stand on principle, to speak truth with compassion, and to live a life driven by higher values. That someone can be you, not someday, but today. You don't have to be flawless to lead. You just have to be faithful. Leadership in the Quran is not about dominance. It's about responsibility. It's about sincerity. It's about being a beacon for those around you, especially when they are drowning and confused. Your actions have the power to inspire others to believe again. Your story might be the key that unlocks someone else's prison. Your resilience might give someone else the courage to rise. And remember, the legacy you leave isn't measured by numbers, applause, or attention. It's measured by hearts moved, lives touched, and truth upheld. It's measured by the silent moments when you choose integrity over ease, when you forgive instead of retaliate, when you show up even when it's hard. That is leadership in its truest form. Quiet, consistent, courageous. You are not just a face in the crowd. You are a leader in the making, a soul designed to ignite change, a vessel of divine light placed in a specific moment of history with a mission only you can carry.